Nick.
Yes.
What's your topic?
Damn it, I already forgot the person's name.
I knew you would. While that happens, does someone's farts or burps smell like trash, or is it the trash in the kitchen? Every so often, I got a waft of trash in here.
Earlier,
go to our Patreon page so we can take out the trash. I
think it's the trash.
Okay.
It might be the trash. It might be one of us. So my topic today, of course, comes from the community. Remember, if you have a topic for this show, please tweet it at me, Nick_Scarpino, and it might be one of our topics, just like at Dancing Joe Man.
Dancing Joe Man!
Who last week won a very, very landslide vote for the two topics we had.
Remember, we usually put up 2 topics for Nick. Then you vote via likes through the YouTubes.
Right.
Since the schedule's a bit off this week because of the Kind of Funny relaunch, we won't do that this week. Instead, you can pick topics and we'll vote at the table.
Yes. So,
but who won last week?
Dancing Joe Man, follow him on Twitter, said, "What is the craziest party you've ever been to?" So that beat out, what do you look for most in a pizza?
It's still a great topic.
Great topic.
Let's just do that next week. Let's just do that next week. What we look for in a pizza?
Because I feel like that. There's a lot of
craziest party you ever went to
on that one. Colin,
yeah,
what's the craziest party you've ever been to?
I've thought about this, and I don't think it reminds me of Aisha Tyler when she was here and we were talking about whatever the hell we were talking about. I said my stories are too incriminating. So
this is gonna be a hard one to not.
So I don't want to incriminate anyone else. I'll incriminate myself though. This was not the craziest party I've ever been to, but it's the funniest story I have about going to a party.
Okay.
I was like 19 or 20, and I went to like a little get together at my friend's house on Long Island. I was home for the summer from Northeastern, and we ended up getting like just super wrecked, and we were having a great time. We hadn't seen each other all year. Everyone's coming home from college. I think this was like after freshman year, and so we were just having a good time at my buddy's house, swimming in the pool and drinking some beers and hanging out, listening to music, all that kind of stuff. At 19 years old.
Oh my God, you're a lawbreaker.
And you must have just been smooth.
Yeah. But so short story. We're all in the backyard of my friend's house, and I end up passing out in the backyard. And everyone just kind of disperses, goes to bed, sleeps on the couch, whatever, and I'm just like kind of in the grass. In the backyard, and the next morning my friend's mom comes and like kind of shakes me and she's like, "What the hell are you doing?" And I was all groggy and had never really been that drunk before, and just got up and slept on their couch or whatever, and woke up at like 7 that night and went home. So a lot of my college stories are very similar in the sense of how messed up I ended up getting, but that particular story I think is the essence of the first time I got screwed up, and the party wasn't even much of a rager as much as I raged too hard at the party.
So you were that guy?
Yeah, probably.
Everyone else is like the next Monday, everyone's like, Colin was really drunk last night. Like I didn't know what's going on with him.
He went harder than anyone's ever gone.
Yeah, so that story always sticks out to me just because I remember my mom. I was so embarrassed because my friend's mom was like, who I've known like most of my life. Since I was a little kid, like it was like, man, what the hell are you doing? Like just face down in the grass,
like
watching Clay.
In the backyard.
I imagine you like destroying your friend's dad's bottle of peach schnapps, and then just being like, "Why isn't 311 playing right now?"
Stop! We're gonna get a strike.
I can't believe I
so I get mood.
So that's about as vanilla as I can make it without, I don't want to get, college parties a lot of them were pretty absurd. And they were all in good fun. No one was getting hurt or doing anything illegal, but it was, it's much like when I punched Ramon in the face. We don't want to go.
Ramon.
I was pretty drunk then too, but
yeah.
Well, so that's my story, and that's about as many. I've been to some good bachelor parties and stuff like that, but that was that's a good story. That's an old story, and that's what I like telling that one. Yeah.
Greg,
I have a war chest full of crazy party
You've
stories.
told some crazy party stories.
I know. I have. Here is the one that I'll tell. That is, I'll give you the ending. I'm going to start at the epilogue. This is how they hook you good in the books.
Wait, it's not going to be the one where you decided to fight the neighboring fraternity or something like that.
No,
right?
no, that wasn't it. And it's not going to be the one where I fell down in front of the cops. It's not going to be.
Oh, I thought that was the same story.
No, that was different.
It's not the
same
story.
street, same any antler house.
Do you have blue hair in this party? In this story?
I'm fairly certain I didn't.
Okay.
Wait, it would have been around. No, I might have. There's a possibility
50-50,
I had blue hair, but I don't know. It doesn't matter.
It's not relevant to the story.
It isn't relevant.
It's not material to the story.
So here's all you need to know about this story. This is where we start. All right, we're in front of the antler house. You pan up. It's 2:33 in the morning.
How old were you?
I'm underage. It's a sophomore year, I do believe.
Okay.
Maybe beginning of junior year, but
Okay.
I think no, sophomore year. You pan up on the Antler House 3 in the morning. Lonely light on me as I sit on the porch steps, and I'm calling. I think Noonan, because Poe didn't pick up his phone for some reason, and he answers, and I just go, "Dude, remember when we were in high school?" And we would watch movies like Can't Hardly Wait or whatever, and there'd be some crazy party and we'd all look at each other and go like, no party ever happens like that. Mm-hmm. I was just at that party. So there you go. And now we fade back and we do a flashback now. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Of course,
I'm seeing this in my head.
I mean the Antlers, of course.
Interior.
You guys know
Antler
it well.
House
If you don't
tonight.
know it at home for some reason, University of Missouri student group that's not affiliated with the university anymore because they're an embarrassment because they go too far and make fun of teams and call players and put up private information on signs and hold them up. Yada yada yada.
You were the Grand Poobah.
I was the Grand Poobah, but I was not the Grand Poobah at this time.
Okay.
We went to a Mizzou volleyball game. And because
course.
it's one of those things where for basketball, which is the Antlers' main thing, there's enough people at a basketball game, at least in my time period. Now they kind of stink. But now at the time period I was there, enough people came. They didn't need us. But every other sport would beg the Antlers to come. Because, God, they were loud and they actually got in the head of these kids. We're screaming things at players and there's like a 1-to-1 connection between us and the opposing team.
Because they're just
terrified.
right here.
Yeah.
They're terrified, yeah. So we go to this volleyball game. He wants to eat Shovel Knight, by the way. The Shovel Knight sculpture. During Twitch streams, he always tries to get up here and eat Shovel Knight. I have no idea what this kid made it out of. We go to the Mizzou volleyball game.
Right.
We're there, of course.
Boy, a guy or girl?
Girls.
Team. Okay.
And the girls, of course, beautiful.
Yeah, of course.
Beautiful volleyball players here. You know,
Shorts.
Very tall.
I'm a big fan of volleyball shorts.
they are very tall. They're good shorts, yeah. And so at some point, I'm like, I'm in love with this girl here. For the purposes
Number
of the
12.
story, we'll call her Lucy. I'm in love with Lucy.
What's your real name, Lucy?
No, that's
Okay.
I'm gonna. What if I was like, yeah, it was actually.
It
It's just the
was.
easiest way to change it around. And fall in love with this girl over here, Lucy. And I'm like, she's awesome, blah blah. And we go through and they do signings at the end, and we're just a bunch of idiots. They give us posters, we get them signed or whatever. We go home, we put them up on the wall. It's like a running joke at the Antler House that I'm in love with this one girl, Lucy, on this team or whatever. Blah 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 blah. And it goes on for a while, and finally one day, one of the Antlers is like, hey guys, we're drinking, playing caps, we're already drunk at the house. He's like, we just got invited to the Golden Girls. It might have been the cheerleaders. There's two basically interchangeable things at Mizzou, right? There's Golden Girls who are like the girls who just like are like the pom pom squad, and there's like cheerleaders that are like the mix.
What an unfortunate name.
Golden Girls.
Because that's just all I think about
I know.
is fucking
B.
Blanche
Arthur's
Devereaux.
panties.
Yeah.
B. Arthur's panties
Just those big
specifically.
panties.
And here it is. Actually, it was Golden Girls because it was that was the all female troupe, of the girls who wear like the super tight outfits and come out and do their thing and do their dances and stuff and are always showing their midriffs and whatever.
I like those girls.
Yeah, everybody likes those girls. We've been invited to their party, and it's the after party for their initiation. And so we're like,
man.
oh, okay, no big deal. We all roll over there. We open the door and go into this party, and literally 3 of them are naked and like are getting redressed. And these are like the Golden Girls are incredibly attractive college students who are like.
I was just gonna Google it, but I realize there's a camera on me right now.
You can
I'm gonna
Google
Google it
Golden
anyway.
Girls. What? It's not. You're not going to find the pictures that I'm talking about in my mind.
I might.
But we get
What do you
there.
think of it? What's gonna happen if I type? What do you think's gonna happen right now if I Google Golden Girls nude?
Oh, you
Is that
know what's
gonna
gonna
be-
happen.
That's not going to be good for
You know
anybody.
what's gonna happen.
Okay.
But
Do not put that in this
It
video.
turns out that for their initiation thing or whatever, they had to all wear costumes. So like they were in these like goofy outfits. So there's like people dressed like they're all dressed like Victoria's Secret angels or some kind of goofy their thing. Or they're basically in lingerie to begin with. But they had them doing like initiation stuff before we got there, and we got there just in time for them to be like, oh hey, and everybody's kind of drunk or whatever already. So they're just like, oh no big deal, whatever. Blah. So we're just
So you're
surrounded
saying naked.
naked.
Cool.
Like they were like getting reclothed from whatever they had just had to do. I don't even know what they were doing that it required them
we
to
can
be
only
in very
imagine.
extensive.
Just a cursory search of Golden Girls Mizzou.
Yeah,
Every picture is nothing but great looking women.
that's what I'm saying.
I just want you to know this.
Yeah, that's how they do it at Mizzou.
Mostly blonde. There are just a lot of blonde women in Mizzou.
Well, yeah, it's the middle of the country. People like that. The
I
bleach
guess
blonde hair.
man. Wow. They all
Get
have-
there, and so like this party then continues on this train. Body shots. People are crazy. There's awesome lights.
It's like Project X.
I didn't see that, but I saw the trailer. I got enough
too.
of it. Yeah. Okay. So this is all going, and it's just amazing, and it's great, and it's blah 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 blah, and we're all having that moment of just like, this is the best party I've ever been to. You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, we're not like the antlers who are like Casanovas are always doing fine, but like, you know, all the fat ones with blue hair like me are still just like, hey, I'm fun, whatever. seeing pretty people be pretty. This is not too shabby. And then the seas part in this one dance room I'm in with the little string of lights. And who the fuck is over there at the bar? It's Lucy,
Ooh,
and
in the
she's
sky
talking
with
to
diamonds.
another antler. And so I walk over, and she's also dressed in some scantily clad outfit or whatever. And as I get close, the other antler spots me, and he goes, "This is the guy I'm telling you about. He's in love with you." And she goes, "Ah," and like brings me in close to her like this. And like we just sat there and talked for a little bit. And then she's like, "Well, I gotta go." And I'm like, "Oh, that sucks. Can I ever call you sometime?" And she's like, "Sure." And she takes a Sharpie and writes on my hand her phone number. And then she leaves. And it was just like, what the fuck just happened? And I went up to Goose, our former Grand Poop at the time, and I'm like, man, this just happened, and da 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 da. And he's like, and I'm like, and then she wrote her hand on my phone number, and he holds up my arm and goes, "Who can take this man home? He has to jack off."
Yeah, God. I don't think I ever went to a good college party like that.
It was the most, like, it's one of those things. I pride myself on my college stories of parties and crazy things, but like, you know, this was the one where it was like the movie set, where like everyone was beautiful and awesome and
looked like the
friendly, and
neighbor's
like
house.
there's great lighting, and like our parties were awesome and packed, but they were hot and sweaty, and our house was a shithole, and you know what I mean. There was bugs, you know what I mean. Like this is like the one that was like totally exactly what you would expect a Hollywood movie.
I'm imagining right now because I just saw, about a month and a half ago, saw Neighbors with Seth Rogen and Zac Efron. They throw that party where it's like always a theme and everything's perfectly dialed in, and like if it's a blacklight party, it's a blacklight party, things like that. I never went to those cool parties.
Yeah.
I had friends that were in fraternities that threw those parties, and occasionally I would go to one, and it was like,
It was super awkward.
It was awkward.
It's like a
Everyone's
Twister party. It's
"Hey,
like, oh,
dude."
everyone wear a color from Twister, and we'll play
Yeah.
Twister, and you have to touch each other. And there's like 4 dudes wearing green shirts, and it's like, you guys.
I never had that experience, but I'm glad that you did. I'm
was
glad that
wearing a
one
green
of us
shirt.
at this table had that. No, I mean, I would always go to these parties, and I was never part of that fraternity, so it would be really awkward because they would either be like, "Hey," I think they had a term for it. I can't remember what it was, but it was like GDIs. I think goddamn independence.
Yep.
Pardon me for the god. I don't know, like use the Lord's name in vain, but
I like how "goddamn" is the one word we don't bleep on Beyond. That's the one word you're apologizing for.
that's fair enough. I don't want to throw anyone out there.
God damn.
We've talked a lot on the show about religious beliefs. We respect those. So yeah, I used to be GDI, and then I actually ended up joining another fraternity, and we didn't throw cool parties either, mostly because it was UC Irvine. But so all of my parties that I've been to that are cool were not college stories. All of my parties, actually, the coolest ones I've been to have been since I joined IGN. Namely, our Comic-Con party every year is always absurd because it's like, so the first year we threw it, I think was a shocking sort of revelation for me, where I was like, this is what all parties should be like. Open bar, packed, great looking people, because everyone's like either a celebrity or knows a celebrity or works in the industry.
I can never. It's mind-boggling the celebrities we get for these things.
And then everywhere you turn, you're like, oh, I just bumped into Jon Favreau. Oh, what's up, Sam Worthington? Like,
Hey,
it was,
Tara Reid.
Yeah, well,
You're
Tara Reid's
cool.
always at the parties.
But
Tara
this
Reid's
is
my
awesome.
favorite.
It's just awesome to look over and see her there.
Yeah.
Fun Comic-Con story. This year, I was with Kara, my girlfriend, and I couldn't find her for a while. I went to the bathroom and I couldn't find her. Lo and behold, I eventually look over. It's her just chilling with Tara Reid.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is a
man.
goddamn disaster.
I wish I could chill with Tara Reid.
I saw Tara Reid.
I love her.
I didn't have the stones to say what's up to her, mostly because I was really, really tired from doing a live show at Comic-Con.
I'm too tired to say.
I'm too tired to say
That's,
Tara
and
Reid.
that's the problem it's been with the last 2 years of the Comic-Con party. Is
I'll
that,
see her at American Reunion 2 presser.
Wow. Yeah, we'll have one of our shows. No, but every time we get to that party now, it's the first night of Comic-Con, but I've already worked 5 nights since to get the live show up and running, so I'm so tired. It's hard to be sort of in the moment and on. Yeah, but it's still a great party. That, and we used to have an old events coordinator for IGN. She's awesome. She has since moved on, but she used to throw the most amazing
To the other
parties.
side?
No, she's just a different company.
You almost said a better place. To the other side? Is she dead?
No, but she threw a party one time for us at CES that was at the Trist in the Wynn.
Oh.
And oh my, I've never felt as, like, I don't like to throw around the term baller, but it was literally,
going to.
but but I'm gonna throw it out right now because I was like, that was the first time I remember thinking like, is this what baller feels like? Because it was a. If you've ever been to Trieste,
Hold on, that's a great shirt, by the way.
Is this what baller
Is
feels
this
like?
what baller feels like? Anyway,
Districtlines.com/GameOverGreggy. Kindoffunny.com/store.
Store, hopefully. But it took up.
Lots to figure out tomorrow night.
I mean tonight when I go home after this.
Well, I'll figure out the web forwarding part.
Okay. So you go into the club, and it wasn't in the main club. It was in one of the wings that like circled that encircled the pond, I guess, or the waterfall area. And there was a private security area. And this was some of the guys that we would work with were still single, and so they would walk through the security, and girls would go, "Hey, what's going on over there?" And they would be like, "Oh no, you want to just we're throwing a party. It's like free alcohol and stuff. Come on over." And they're like, "Okay." And it was the first time I was like, wow, it actually is a thing. Like if you have the image of not wealth, but like the ability to provide something cooler than the experience that females are getting in the normal part of the club, they look at you differently. And I'm like, I'll keep that one in the back of my mind for later, which I'm sure you're going to tell a story about anything.
Well, I mean,
It's your party story, Tim.
Well, so here's the thing. I mean, Nick's really nailing it on the head here. My college parties were so lame.
They were lame.
Like,
Not yours. I
didn't throw any ever. And if I did, it'd probably be pretty lame. Me and Alfredo did throw a really epic New Year's Eve party a couple of years ago. It was still IGN times, but that was a
Thanks
good
for the
one.
invite.
That was
Yeah.
everyone. You guys were invited. It was a Facebook
I don't-
invite.
Oh wait, is this when you wore the shiny clothes?
Yes,
Yeah, I do remember this.
Yeah, we didn't go on purpose.
it was a good time.
We didn't
We were
want to
too
support
busy.
those.
But anyways, like IGN's parties, man, like they're either the lamest things in the world or the
best.
most baller.
I think they're
in
usually the
world.
most baller.
We throw good
I can't
parties.
remember.
There's a lot of really lame ones.
When.
I don't know. There's some of them.
Sometimes
I don't want to name any names.
Well, because
specifically.
sometimes they're smaller like gatherings, so it depends on like what the focus of the party is. If it's kind of a public like invite fans and then like industry people, those tend to be blowout,
Yeah.
go crazy. Sometimes they're just more intimate,
Subdued, yeah.
like
I like a subdued
client to client party things. And those are actually really fun,
They're
but they're
fun.
more
It's different.
business.
Yeah,
It's business.
It's like I feel like our holiday parties. There is a fair amount of them that are just spectacular. Like every year, IGN will throw their like company holiday party, and they're just awesome. Some of them aren't as awesome. Some of them are.
They used to be crazy back
The
then.
Yeah,
first,
like
yeah.
this thing is like back in the day they were crazy.
The first year I was
Real
at-
crazy.
Yeah. Should I share for B-roll the photos of you?
Yeah, whatever you want. Yeah. At my first holiday party.
Your
yeah.
first holiday party as a full-time employee when you tried to resign the next day. Yeah. Because you're like, I was out of control last night. I want to quit.
That's awesome.
I passed out on the sidewalk in front
I
of the
just
club.
remember one party. It might have been the same one. It was my first year at IGN, and it was at this. I think it was the year Hillary was doing the Gold Star thing.
Oh, the gold star, the stickers. It was a return to form. 'cause
So
that
this was
an
the
old-
year after I started, and
Was it?
I remember. Yes, I know because
How long have you been at IGN?
4 years.
Wow.
So
man.
when I was there at the party, all anyone was talking about was, "Oh, this isn't as good as last year. No one has stars."
Yeah, it was.
That was a bad idea.
I actually didn't get too drunk at that party. I think I only had a few cocktails. Reason being was because I made the mistake of going outside for a second, and I had
Careful
to.
of the names.
I'm not gonna
Okay.
share any names, but a friend of mine, a coworker that I had worked with, not on the editorial side, she was I think she was like ad ops or something like that, was very drunk, and she came out and was like, didn't know what to do, and I was like, I'll get you a cab, just don't fall into the street and die. So I hailed a cab, he pulled over, and he was quite adamant about not taking her. He was like, no, she's way too drunk. She's going to throw up in my cab. And I'm like, you have to take her. I was like, it's against the law for you not to take her. I had no idea. I don't know. I was like, it's against the law. So
I'm a lawyer.
I'm going to get a cop.
My dad's a lawyer.
So I throw her in there and close the door just in time to turn around and see another one of my coworkers stumble out. And I'm like, well, this is going to be the next 2 hours of my life. And I had to get like 15 people cabs. It was
Yeah.
ridiculous. Not the least was one of our coworkers, and I'm not going to say his name. He's no longer at the company, but he was demolished. I didn't even want to touch him.
This is the one sitting on the curb vomiting. Yeah, there's photos of that.
That was amazing. So that was that was a fun party though. That was my first time. That was my first time really at a company party like that.
Yeah.
I didn't really know what to expect. Same way the party I'd been to was like you had to pay for your own alcohol. So of course you're very conservative with the amount you're drinking that night. But this one was an open bar. And it was like 3 different stories, and there was like a coat check, and I was like, a coat check? That's so fancy.
Oh my God, we've
yeah,
made it
yeah,
now.
yeah,
The internet's
crazy.
never going away.
Put my spats on and my top hat, and let's go be millionaires. But that was fun.
Yeah.
That was a fun time.
So real quick, going through my party stories, just buzzing through these. I will say that Nick Scarpino joint bachelor party, untouchable. I'm not even gonna go into it. Like those stories can't be told. It's just that's the pinnacle of existence, and it doesn't get better than that.
Pinnacle of existence.
These Comic-Con parties are. You already spoke enough about how awesome they are. Like they're just the most fun I have all year. I'm just like, damn, this is just the best. My Comic-Con story in particular might be my favorite Comic-Con story I've ever had in my entire life. You guys know it well.
Which one?
Don't name names.
Comic-Con story.
Do not.
So what I'm going to say here, I'm calling
Tell the story.
Calling an audible here. On a future Game Over Greggy show,
we're
going to do the whole show where each of our topics is just our best story of our lives. Like the best story we got to tell.
Was that the best story of your life?
It's not the best story. It is my best story.
Okay, it's
the most entertaining story.
It's
of all time.
It's like
I think that'll be a really good show.
Okay.
So that one will
it'll be a
worth the dollar.
4-topic thing where each topic
is each of our own stories.
Okay, I like that.
I think that'll be fun.
Okay.
Damn, I'm blanking out. I had one last story. Party story. Oh, the craziest moment I remember at a party where I was like, whoa, shit just got really too real. Was it was my first IGN party, and I went, and then it wasn't an IGN party. It was, but through work we were there. It was like a different company, and we
Your
were
first
there.
like event party.
It was the first event party.
Yeah.
I don't remember what the event was or whatever. I was an intern. I was like young and youthful and all this shit, and I went with Nick, and Nick brought me to this thing, and he was just kind of showing me the ropes of like how to set up the camera and do all this shit. And then we were doing the party stuff, and he was like, "Hey, just come with me, and I'll like show you the shit." I don't even know if you remember most of this.
No, I don't.
Yeah, and it was crazy. Like, I didn't know what alcohols to get and stuff. Like I had not really drank, and I was just like, "Fuck."
I did not know what alcohols to get.
Yeah, I didn't.
Which alcohols do I get?
I don't know.
I was young and youthful.
I'm the pure one.
That's another good shirt, young and youthful.
But yeah, so like Nick, he was like, "Tim, Jack and Coke, you got to do it." I'm like, "Cool, I'm doing it." So I ordered that shit. It was all good and stuff. And then we went around. We were just talking. He's all smoking, cool, because this was back when Nick was like, "Cool, Nick."
Yeah, the best Nick.
And we go around, and then all of a sudden, this girl that we both don't know offered Nick cocaine. I know this sounds like a joke, but like this happens, and you're gonna have
to tell me who this person was.
You totally played it off, and you were just like, "Oh no, we're good," whatever. She like walks away, and then you look at me. This is the first moment Nick Scarpino treated me like the mentor that he is. He was just like, "Tim, this is gonna happen to you. You gotta just play cool and just get through it and just ignore those people." And I was like, "We'll do." And that was very important. That was the most important party moment I've ever had.
I don't remember this at all. I'm so sorry. You'll have to. You got to go into more in depth after.
I'll tell you.
I've never seen cocaine in person.
I have. Well, you don't party in the marine a lot.
No.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of. I mean, I'm not saying that to be like, oh, you don't party in the marine. There is literally a lot of drug usage in San Francisco, and it happens to be in in
the comic club.
That drug is actually not so much in that. I've never actually seen it there. I've seen it in other places that are because I think it's it's a designer drug, right?
Yeah.
And so a lot of people,
I'm poor.
I think, I mean, so am I. Not that I would do it if I had the money, but no, but I mean, you see it a lot in a lot of people that are like more affluent. Like they'll go to these higher end places, and you'll be in the bathroom. You're like, oh, okay,
yeah.
Well, I was just here to wash my hands. Have fun doing your bump. It's
really
uncomfortable.
To me, it's like whenever I've seen it a few times, like people doing it in bathrooms, whatever, in bars and stuff like that. Always really uncomfortable. Like I'm always like, oh, like I saw a dude at a bar actually in the Inner Sunset get literally thrown on his ass for selling coke in the bathroom or whatever. Like the bartender went back and just like roughed him up and like threw him out. And I was like, well, it's just like it is just like we've talked about this before, but just like a flagrant waste of money, really bad for you, stupid to do. Stick to the more conventional things, kids. Don't be doing the cocaine. It's just fucking stupid. Yeah. But like, and I'm always just like when I walk in, someone in the bathroom's doing it or their friends are doing it or something, like it's just like, oh, I don't want to be around you.
I mean, when that situation at the party happened to me, I remember being scared. Like I was like, oh shit, like I don't know if I'm into this. Like this isn't my like.
Not into
scared sounds like a crazy word, but not
scared
into that
straight
into that situation though. I was just like, oh man, like I didn't think this was what it was going to be like, and it's not like that. Like that situation scared me. I thought every video game industry party was going to be just like strippers.
Hey, thanks for doing that interview. Do drugs.
Yeah, but since then it totally hasn't been that. But that was a really like whoa situation, and then Nick totally handled it so cool. I'll never forget that.
If you like Mortal Kombat, you'll love Mortal Kombat on meth. No!
Fatality.
Video game journalism.
I'll try anything.